All right. No, you don't need to download any extension for HTML. You don't need to download any extension for any of them either. So I will start by creating a new file. This place here creates a new file, and I will call it index.html. Now, the only reason why I am calling it index means the first one. So that's the reason why I'm calling it the first one, index. And I'm also going to explain to you why. As a matter of fact, let me explain now. The word index means first, the first one. You know that when you build a website, there is what we call the home page, and there's what we call about page, services page, contact us page, and every other page. If an e-commerce place, e-commerce store, there's going to be the shop page, there will be the cart page, there will be payment page, there will be so many pages. So when you see index means the home page. When you deploy this project, if you build your project, you are going to deploy. Deploy simply means you will host it on a server. Yes, we are going to host ours too, of free hosting and all of that. So when you host the website on a server, the browser is going to be looking for the first file only, and that first file is the index file. So if you name it something else that is not index, the browser will not recognize it, and as such, your home page will not be loading. It happens. So that is why we name it index, the first page. Index. The browser is looking for the first file, which is this index. And once it sees this file will then point it to every other file. But if it doesn't see this file, your home page will not be loading. So I have this. I will bootstrap this with exclamation mark. Now, I don't want to write everything from scratch. I can if I want to, but there's no need or there's no point writing everything from scratch. Now, it is not laziness. No, it is not laziness. It's actually accuracy. So this is what I tell people that I teach programming. Yes, you know it. You know how to write code, but there is no point proving that you know how to write code. Allow Emmet to suggest for you. Allow Emmet. When I say Emmet, I mean this. If I type something like H, you see these suggestions that are here. All these suggestions are coming from Emmet abbreviations. So you type one key or one letter and you allow Emmet to suggest. Then you pick what you want. That way, you don't have to write everything. Now, for those who are conversant with code, they will know that if I remove one thing, for example, this angle bracket, this thing will not function very well again. It becomes a bug. Now, some persons, they understand it, they can write it from scratch, they write complete things. But for someone like you who is just learning it will be wrong to type everything yourself. What do I mean by type everything? You write angle bracket, you write H, you write T, M, L, and then you close it. No, that's wrong. Allow Emmet to suggest for you. That way, you will not have plenty bugs. As a backend developer, you are going to experience plenty bugs. Plenty. It is normal. But you try to limit them with Emmet, which is one reason why we like using VS Code. VS Code comes with Emmet inbuilt. But other extensions, text editors, you have to install Emmet. So please don't type it yourself. Allow Emmet to suggest. Except you are writing words, making sentences, then you can type those ones yourself. But if it's your code, don't type it yourself. Allow Emmet to suggest. So I'll start with exclamation mark to bootstrap the whole HTML. Now I've done this. Now I can close this. If you close this, you can always open it like this. If you close it by clicking on this icon, you can always open and close it. So I have this. This is my HTML. And from our yesterday class, we are meant to understand that HTML is divided into two parts, the head and the body. The head of the HTML and the body of the HTML. Please, nobody should drop comments on the general page. Okay, the home page is different from the landing page. I will explain what that means now. Home page is different from a landing page. For example, let's assume you are selling, you sell cars, for example. You sell anything, but we're using cars, for example. Now, if you are selling cars and you build your website, two persons that are selling cars will build their website differently. The first person will build their website that you come to the home page. Sorry, try, if you can't see my screen, leave and come back. Can any other person confirm that they can see my screen? So I can stop sharing and share again. So what is the difference between the home page and the landing page? The home page contains just a few informations about the company, just a few informations. You need to go to the About Us page and then you see other informations. You need to go to the car page and you see other information. But a landing page can be a long page. It can also be a short page. But what it means is that if you come to that page, you will see all the information you need that will enable you decide whether you want to buy that car. So that's what the landing page is. So when you hear landing pages contain all the information you need to be able to take actions that the developer wants you to take, whether it is to register for a course, whether it's to buy something, whether it's to just take action. But for a home page contains just a few information. It doesn't contain all the information. You then need to go to another page to see more information before you decide whether you want to take that action. But a landing page, it contains all the information. So a landing page can serve as your home page if you want, but a home page cannot serve as your landing page. So I want to believe we now know the difference between the two of them. And while we go, now even though our job is not the front end, but it's good you understand the front end, you know it very well, so that if somebody is talking to you as a back-end developer, you know what is happening on the front end. Now, a lot of front-end developer don't know what is going on the back end, but every back-end developer must know what is going on the front end. That is why we are starting with the front end. But it's not your job to do front end, but you have to know it. So if I try to teach you front end and you still don't understand it, it's fine. It's not your job to understand the front end. It's your job to have an idea, be able to do one or two things on the front end. That's it. Now, it's when we come to the back end, that's where you put in all your best to grab the back end. So this is HTML. You have the head and the body. And the last time we said the head contains instructions for the browser. For example, this character set UT8, and then create a viewport. Use the device width, and the initial scale should be 1.0. The title of the page should be called document, like this. And if I go to my, if I go to my folder where I have this index file, and I choose to open it up with any browser. You can use any browser, but I prefer, for the sake of this training, to use Microsoft Edge. Key. So I'll close this, and then if I save this file, I'll save it and then refresh this page. And you see that the name of this page is called document. The last time we were talking, the last class, I explained to you that everything from this white down is the body of the HTML, whereas everything up on this dark side is the head of your HTML. For example, if I decide to change this to my name, and then save it. If I refresh this page, the title has changed to my name. And that's just one thing. But do we have any question so far before we proceed? Any question before we proceed? If there is no question, please drop a thumbs up so that we can proceed. Dauda, I should come again. So I want to believe what you mean by coming again is to actually bootstrap this HTML again and open it up with the browser again. So to bootstrap your HTML, I will use exclamation mark. Now it's not as if you can't type it yourself, but there is no need typing it yourself. Exclamation mark will bootstrap the entire thing, and the HTML has the head and the body. So in the head contains instructions for the browser, while the body will contain your code. So this here is the title of the page. I can change it to whatever I want. Let me just keep it like that. So I need to go back to my project directory. The project directory is the folder you created for the project. So this is the folder I am working on. And if you look at it here, it's the same folder. It needs to be the same folder. So this is the folder I'm working on. And here you see the name School Access. So I will right click on this and open it with a browser. You can open it up with any browser of your choice, but I'll be using Microsoft Edge. And here you see that the title of the page is actually written down. So with that being said, we can continue. Now, like I said the last time, the body contains all your codes. That means you should not write anything beneath the body or above the body. You are not allowed to write anything above the body here or beneath the body. Everything must be inside the body. You are free to skip it and open it as much as you want, but they must be inside the body. I'll take that again. The body of the HTML contains all your codes, or will contain all your codes. So at that, you are not allowed to write anything outside of the body. You are not allowed to write anything outside of the body or above the body. No, you should not write anything above the body. Everything must be within this body, inside the body tag. Everything must be inside the body tag. Keep this here. Okay. For those who are just joining, please make sure you've marked your attendance. And there's anywhere you are seeing it now as a student, but engineers are working on it. You're going to be seeing your scores soon. So every day you mark attendance, 5 marks is added to your aggregate score. All right, so I'll continue. Before I continue, can anybody hear me? I want to confirm you can hear me. Yeah, VS Code will not show you errors when you type outside of the body, because if I type outside of the body, let's just do that. Let's go ahead. So I've written stuff outside of the body. If I save it and come here and refresh, they will still be showing up here. They are still showing up here. So it's to VS Code, it's not an error. So that is why VS Code is not going to throw errors if you type outside the body, because to VS Code, it is not an error. But as a software developer, or let's take people who build house, for example. Somebody will build a house, and then you'll see the way they are laying the bricks. You see that they use plumb to make sure it is aligned very well. They use rope to make sure the blocks are straightened. They do everything to make sure it's straight. But if you see a house that is built, some blocks are facing this way, some are facing the other way. Now, it's not as if the structure will stand. It will stand. It will go up. They might even roof it, but it is not good like that. It may not last. Maybe it may not last, but I don't know. But some persons don't like it. The same thing goes for people who try to make pap. You try to make pap, you say, after all, is it not to just mix the pap and water? Just mix it. There is pap, there is water, mix it together and you drink. No, there has to be a way to make the pap so that I can drink it. If you make it the way you want to make it, I may not be able to drink it. Yeah, indentation. We're going to talk about indentation too. But so to VS Code, this is not an error. But to a developer, this is an error. Because after you are done writing this code, you cannot use these things you've written here. You cannot. There are errors. So I think we've covered that. We'll leave this. So everything must be within the body. Everything must be within the body, and save it. Now, somebody mentioned indentation. What indentation means, for example, is if I move this thing like this, you see now I can't really tell, or for me that's a developer, I can read it. But for you who is not a developer, you may not be able to read these things. You may not be able to read it. So what is indentation? Indentation helps you to read the code. For example, if I indent this one, indent means push them forward. If I push them forward, you see that my HTML starts from here and ends here. That is indentation. My body starts from here and ends here, and I can tell that these things are inside the body. But if you look at the head, everything here are on the same line. You may not be able to read it, so you indent it. You push them forward. Now I know that the head starts from here to here. So indentation helps you to read your code. You can tell what is inside what is inside here, what is inside here, and so on and so forth. So that is what indentation is. And we're going to look at it deeper as we proceed. So with that being said, welcome to writing HTML codes. Now, this thing I've written here, these are not HTML codes. These are just text. To write HTML code, you need what we call tags or elements. I use tab, the one above cap lock. I use tab. Yeah. To indent it, I use tab to indent. All right, so does it mean that the index can be your home page or your landing page, whichever is the first? Yes. The index can be your home page. The index can also be your landing page. But I think I explained the difference between what the home page is and what the landing page is. So when you are writing HTML code, in order to do anything in HTML, you need what we call tags or elements. Some people call it tags, some people call it elements. It's the same thing. So when you hear HTML elements, they refer to all of these things you're seeing here. This is HTML, this is the head, this is meta element, this is head tag, the body tag, the title tag. So these things are called tags. All of these things that you see inside the angle brackets, they are called tags or elements. So some persons call it tags. I may call it tags, or also I may also call them elements. So they're called HTML elements or HTML tags. In order to do anything on the browser, you need HTML tags. If you want to display text, you need a text tag. If you want to display paragraph, you need a paragraph tag. If you want to display an image, you need an image tag. If you want to display video, you need a video tag. If you want to display audio, you also need an audio tag. Anything you want to do with HTML, you need a tag for it. So when I type something like this is wrong because I am typing text without a tag. In order to type a text, I need a text tag, so doing this is wrong. For everything in HTML, you need a tag, and I think I'm offline again. Can anybody hear me?
We can.
All right. Sorry, I thought I was offline, so I had to mute the mic. Okay, so I'm just typing backend introduction, and it's also displaying here. Even though this works, this is not allowed. For every text, you need to put that text inside a tag. For every image, you need to put that image inside a tag. Can anybody hear me? Drop it thumbs up if you can hear me. Thumbs up if you can hear me. All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's proceed. So there are different tags in HTML. There are heading tags. So that's what we call the heading tags. Heading tags refer to tags that are used for title, paragraph, nouns, name of a person, name of an animal. So any tag that you want to use as a heading or subheading or mini heading or a title, any one that falls into that category, you need a heading tag. And heading tag ranges from 1 to 6. So you have H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. So these are the heading tags. They are used for headings, subheadings, titles, and whatever you want to be a short text. So we use the heading tag. For example, I'm going to use all of them. I will type H. Like I said, allow Emmet to suggest. At any point you are writing your code and you type something and Emmet is not suggesting for you, it means that your code has a bug. It happens like that. So there's an error in your code. That is why Emmet is no longer suggesting. So allow Emmet to suggest for you. So if I open this H1, you see that this H1 comes in pairs. This is a H1 tag and it comes in pairs. Pairs means together, twins, double, two. It comes in two. Not all tags will come in pairs. Some tags come in pairs. So you are going to see those tags that come in pairs. For example, the head tag comes in pairs. So there is the opening head and the closing head. The body tag also comes in pairs. The opening body and the closing body. The HTML tag comes in pairs. The opening HTML tag and the closing HTML tag. The title tag come in pairs. The opening title and the closing title. So the question would now be, how would you know which one is the opening tag and which one is the closing tag? So anytime you see this forward slash before the name, that is the closing tag. For example, in this body, there is no forward slash here, but there is a forward slash here. So this is the closing body tag. In this HTML, there is no forward slash before the name, but here there is a forward slash before the name. So this is the closing tag. The same thing for this H1. There is no forward slash before this, but there is a forward slash here. So this is the closing tag. So most tags that come in pair, this first one is the opening tag, while the second one is the closing tag. If you want to write anything, you write it inside the tag. So you see that the text I'm writing here is inside the tag. This is the opening tag, while this is the closing tag. And my text is inside the tag. This is the professional way of writing your codes. Anything you are writing must be inside a tag. So if you're writing any paragraph or any title, it must be inside the tag, the opening tag and the closing tag. So if I close this, if I save it rather with Ctrl S and go back to my browser and refresh, so you see my name displayed here. Now we've used H1, I'm going to use H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6 so that we see the difference with them. Okay, I think I'm offline again. Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, please drop a thumbs up. If you can hear me, drop a thumbs up. All right. Thank you. So we have used the H1. What I would do is to go ahead and use H2, H3. And like I said, everything must be inside the body tag. It must not come outside. It must be inside the body tag. So I'm going to type H2. The same, my name, I'll copy it and put it inside here. Then I'll type H3. And then the same thing. I will also use H4. The same thing. And then I will use H5, the same thing, and I will use H6, the same thing. So these contents are the same, all of them, they are the same. The difference here is in the tags H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. So these are the only heading tags that we have in HTML. So any website you've seen that has a title or has a heading, they are either using one of these tags. There is no other heading tags in HTML. These are the only heading tags. So if I save this, sorry, there's going to be a recording for it. Just try as much as you can to watch the recording. If I save and refresh my browser, you see that the same contents appear here, but different in sizes. They are the same but different in sizes. The first one here is our H1. The second one is our H2. The third one is H3, while the last one is H6. So it starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if I refresh, that means this is H1, this is H2, this is H3, H4, H5, and H6. So if you want to write a heading that will be very big, you need to use H1. If you want it to be big but not so big, then you use H2. If you want it to be smaller than that, then you use H3 or maybe H4. But if you want it to be very small, but it is still a heading tag, then you'll be using H5 or H6. So these heading tags can be used for headings but of different sizes. I think I'm offline again. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me now? Okay, thank you. All right, we're done with heading tags. Now, if you don't understand heading tags, it's fine. We have a documentation we're using. It is called W3 Schools. So type heading and tags together. There with W3 Schools. This will take you directly to the heading tags section. Yes, there is a tag for bold, but we're going to come to all of that. So this will take you to the heading tag section where you see all these tags. The 6 of them because there are only 6 heading tags. I have an issue with my network and it All right. Like I said the other time, sorry, it will happen. It will keep happening. Now, I will be restarting my router as many times as possible. It happens. Um, but what I'll tell you is do not allow whether it's internet, whether it's power, whatever it is, to actually stop you from learning or what you want to learn. It happened to me when I was serving in Gombe State. So I had a friend, and I always tell people the story. His name is Ibrahim. So Ibrahim got a scholarship to learn programming, and it was to learn Android, only Android development with Java. So he was learning Android with Java, but because I came from Port Harcourt and where I was posted to, I have access to a computer lab, I have access to light and everything. So Ibrahim will always come to my lodge so that I would take him to the computer lab so that he will study. Whereas I will be going there to just watch movies. So one time he was like, "Guy, you should join me now and learn this Java that I'm learning." And I'll be like, no, 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 no. I don't have time for codes and all of that. The stress and everything. I have to cook. I have to teach the students. I also add all of this to it. But with time, he convinced me. I started picking up from him. So if he finishes his class, he will give me the materials. I will study them on my own. And at that time, everywhere was hot. Even though there was light, our fan wasn't that good as NYC core members. Our fan wasn't that good. Sometimes I would lie on the floor to be studying it then in Gombe State. So we did it like that. It was hard. Yes, it was hard. But I finished the basics with him. I wasn't really paying attention to it. So he then continued again the next month for the intermediate. He said I should join him. I said, no, 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 no. The basic was so hard. How much more the intermediate? But because he needed the power in my lodge and the internet in that lodge, and he doesn't stay in that lodge, he kept pressurizing me until I agreed. We started the intermediate. We were doing it together. I wasn't even seeing the instructors. I don't even know who they are. I just take his materials and read and all of that. We were done with intermediate. It was time for the advanced. He came again. I told him, Ibrahim, if the basic and the intermediate did not kill me, you see this advanced one, this one is going to kill me. I cannot do it. He said, no problem. But please, I want you to always come to that lab so that they will allow me. I said, no problem. Once you want to come to the lab, call me. I'll take you there. So I was taking Ibrahim to the lab until one day, Ibrahim has not finished his advanced learning. Ibrahim got was it an employment letter from Germany. He printed it out. We went together to print it out. Ibrahim was asking me, what do I write here? What do I write here? Then, now, brethren, before my very eyes, I was seeing employment letter for an Android developer from Germany. Now, Ibrahim is in Germany now. He's not in Nigeria. So, and I was like, are you joking? Nobody told me there and then. Like, I started the basic again myself. I finished it. I started the intermediate again. I finished it. I started the advanced. I finished it. I came back to web. I started the web and I finished it. And the moment I finished it, I got a job immediately. So what am I trying to say? A lot will happen. There will be network issues. There will be power issues. There will be so many things. Yeah, I'm not sharing my screen yet. There will be so many things, but don't let it deter you. Don't let it uh, discourage you. It's not that difficult, but if you put your mind to it, it happens. I had a student. His brother traveled to Canada. Then the brother called me and said I should teach him, that I should teach his younger brother. The younger brother doesn't even wait for me to teach one. He has moved to three. Like, he studies ahead. He keeps studying ahead. We didn't even finish the class. He told me he's done. He has learned everything. Like, so, but that was his brother. He already has a brother that's trapped. So there are so many cases. When it comes to building softwares, everybody knows it. This HTML I'm going to teach you now, people have heard about it. Some persons know how to write it. But it is still the same thing that other persons will learn, and they will leave the country. They will get jobs somewhere. They will put their mind to it, and they will do something else. And you feel like, but is it not the same HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? It is the same thing. So we're going to be having network issues off and on. If I go off, please stay on the call. I will still come back. I will restart my router and I will come back again. All right, so we are talking about H1, H2, H3. Now, these things I'm teaching you, these are basics. In the next 2-3 weeks or maybe 1 month of our program, we'll look back at these things and we'll start laughing at ourselves while we were learning H1 and H2. But because we don't know it yet, let's study it. So when you are done with headings and you want to write paragraphs, there is only one paragraph tag in HTML, and it is called the P tag. P. The P tag, that is the only paragraph tag in HTML. So if you want to write any paragraph, whether it is long, whether it's a blog post, you need only the P tag, just this one. Then you can write a long paragraph as you want and then save it. If I come to this place and refresh, I have this. So now I have heading tags and I have paragraph tags. So we can use these two tags and try to create something very simple. Something very simple. So I'm going to create a heading tag. Now I will convert this to a comment with control /. I'm offline again. What is wrong? All right. So, and the same thing here. Sorry. So I have the heading and I want to add a paragraph tag. I can go ahead and type something like this. Yeah, I've unmuted. I think it happened automatically. Sorry. So I can go ahead and type a paragraph if I want and then save it. If I refresh, you see the paragraph here. Or I can use Lorem provided by Emmet. So if I type Lorem, Lorem will generate dummy text for me. This is what it does. So Lorem, this is called Lorem Ipsum. Lorem Ipsum generates dummy texts. So if I say Lorem 2, it means it will generate two words. If I say Lorem 3, it will generate 3 words. If I say Lorem 4, to generate 4 words. Now, if I say Lorem 10, to generate 10 words. And if I say Lorem 30, to generate 30 words. Then if I say Lorem 50, it will generate 50 words like this. So I have a text. Now all of these things are still within the body. None is outside. This is the body closing tag and the body opening tag. And I have my title here and I have a paragraph here. So if I save this and refresh, I have a title and I have a paragraph. I'm going to try to do this again. So I'll come here and say H1 rather, with Lorem 6 words, and then with paragraph with Lorem, let's go with 100 words, and then save it. So I have a title and paragraph. I have another title and another paragraph. If I come to my browser and refresh, so I have one title, paragraph, title, and a paragraph. I can do this again here. I'll say H1. Now, mind you, you can use any of the headings. I'm only using H1 because I want a big heading tag. So you can use any of these ones if you want. So I'll go with H1 and I'll say Lorem 8 for 8 words. And then here I will do a paragraph with Lorem, let me try 25 words, and save this. So if I refresh my browser, I have another paragraph. So any question on this before we proceed? Now, if there is no question, drop a thumbs up so that we can proceed. But any question on this? All right. This is what we call typography. Typography in HTML is about typing text, typing paragraphs, and so on and so forth. How do you make them show over the browser? First, you need to make sure that this folder, you know where it is. I will go to the folder and open that folder up. So I have my folder here. I'll open it. Now, if you look at it, I have this file here called index.html, the same index.html here. And then you can click on this to open it with a browser. So if you open it up with a browser, it's going to open up like this. Lorem is spelled as L-O-L, small letter L-O-R-E-M, Lorem. So, but together, no space. I just added the space for you. If I put a paragraph here and I'll type Lorem inside it and hit enter, it will generate dummy text. So Lorem is spelled L-O-R-E-M and save it. So if I refresh this, you see Lorem here, but this is not allowed. It must be inside a tag like that. Yes, you can change the words. I'm just being lazy. I don't want to type this much words. That's the only reason why I'm using Lorem. Not just me. Every developer who's using Lorem is only using it because we want to generate a paragraph, even though it doesn't make any sense, but we want to create something of that nature. Exactly, yes. Lorem can be used to generate text that you can use as examples. Here, this text don't mean anything, but if you look at it, you know that this is how a blog post would look like. So you look at it, you say, okay, this is how a blog post will look like. My screen is lagging. Oh, I am sorry. Okay, what you just do is type in Lorem inside a tag, hit enter and see what it will do. So type in Lorem, hit enter and see what it will do. Exactly. So we're going to display, maybe we may not, but it doesn't really matter if there is a space. This HTML tag, there's going to be spaces between them. That is their default behaviors. They are going to have spaces between them. These are default behaviors. On the browser, they will always have spaces between them. All right. So if there is no more question, drop a thumbs up so that we can proceed to the next thing. No question, so that we can proceed to the next thing. All right. So we've been able to add paragraphs. We've been able to add titles. Now, what about adding? There is actually no distinct difference between a tag and an element. They are all called HTML elements. They are also called HTML tags. So some people call it tags, some people call it elements, but there is no difference. So you can hear somebody say HTML tags, some other person can say HTML elements. They are all tags, they are all elements. They are the same thing, no distinct difference. There could be difference if you go deeper into that, but that is not for us to worry about. It's not for us to worry about. So let's do something else. All right, inline block, we're going to come to all of that. Inline element, we're going to come to that. For now, we're not there yet. So inline, we're talking about CSS now, how to display the tags. For now, we've not reached there. We're going to reach there. Let's talk about tags first. So here we have title, paragraph, title, paragraph. What if we want to attach an image to these things? Of course, if you have a title, you have a paragraph, the next thing is to add an image. So what if we want to add an image to this thing? So what you are going to do, there is only one image tag, and it is called IMG. So this IMG is the only image tag in HTML. Yes, we're going to talk about inline element, but inline element is when we come over to CSS, not in HTML. So we go over to CSS, then we'll talk about block elements, inline elements, and inline block elements, like that. But in CSS. Now let's understand the tags first. If we understand the tags first, then we can proceed to other things. So if you want to add an image, there is only one image tag. This is the image tag. If I click on it, it comes with two things. Now, if you look at it, this image tag, I will do it again. IMG, enter. Now, it comes with these two things, and I will delete them. So this image tag here is a self-closing tag. It doesn't come in pair like this, and then you see another IMG. Sorry, like this IMG. No, this is not an image tag. So an image tag just comes like this, one tag. Just one tag. But it came with two other things that I removed. I removed those two things because I want to explain them. Yes, your text is going to appear like this, very long, like this, very long. So it happens. Now what you can do is there's if you click on, I think is I can't remember where to find that word wrap on Windows, but if you click on this, I think it's edit. If you click on edit at the top, either it's edit or display, then you see word wrap. Word wrap will wrap it for you, or you press Alt Z. Alt Z. Yes, Alt Z or Alt B, anyone. Alt Z will wrap it for you. So like I said, this is the only image tag, IMG, but it has these two things, and I will remove them, then explain. An image tag is only used, yes, views. Click on views, then click on word wrap. An image tag is used to display images, whether images that are on your system or images that are on the internet or on the cloud, anywhere it is. Anywhere you can find those images. So an image is like this. An image tag is like this, but it has two things, and those two things are called attributes. They are called attributes. Attributes is an English word. For example, let's say you were not around and somebody comes to look for you. A neighbor says, sorry, you were not around. Somebody came here to look for you. What you want to do is to ask questions. Is he tall? Is he a boy? Is he a girl? Is it dark in complexion? Like you start, is it slim, fat? Like you start to find out the attributes of this person. So if they describe the person, you then say, oh, I know the person. I think I know the person you are talking about. So that is the same thing here in an image tag. If you look at this image tag like this is not an image tag, because an image tag has two things. It must have two things. For example, if somebody say there is a dog, but the dog doesn't bark, you'll be like, is there any dog that does not bark? Or you say, I have a car, but my car doesn't drive. It doesn't move. Is there any car that doesn't move? So the same thing with an image tag. An image tag cannot appear like this. It has two things. The first thing is what we call the SRC. This SRC refers to the source. It means the source. So the source, the browser is saying, all right, this image you want to add or you want to display, where is the image? Where is it coming from? So that is what this SRC is used for. This SRC is the source. Where is this image coming from? Where is it? That is the source. The second thing is the auth. The auth. The auth means alternative text. If the image does not display, what text do you want the users to see? That is what auth means. So auth. Now here is the SRC, the source of the image. And here is the alternative text. If the image does not display, what text do you want the users to see? For example, inside this quote, I will add a word called logo. So it means that if this image doesn't display, I want the users to see a text that says logo so that they know that in this position, I am adding a logo, but the logo image did not display. So if I save it, come to my browser and refresh the page, you see that somewhere here, I don't know if you can see my screen, this is showing that there's supposed to be an image here, but the image is not displaying, but rather there is a text showing here called logo. So that is what an alternative text is used for. Now, if the image doesn't display, you want to show a text to the user so that they know what you are trying to display. So a logo is supposed to be here, but the logo is not displaying. So that is for image tag. Now I'll delete this and do it again. IMG, enter. So now I have the source of the image and the alternative text I want to show if there is no image. So I will type in logo and save. Maybe not logo, I'll just type in CareerEx logo and save. So if I come here and refresh, I have CareerEx logo showing here, but the logo is not showing. So the question now is, how do we then display the image itself? There are two ways to display an image. The first one is if the image is already on the internet. You can display an image. Maybe you are not the one that uploaded that image. Somebody else uploaded that image. You can take that image and add it to your website. Or maybe you downloaded the image. You can also take that image and add it to your website. Okay, I don't know why. It could be you have a bug, but if you don't have a bug, you try and complete it yourself. But it should be able to complete it, but if it doesn't, no problem. There is no cause for alarm. Just add the SRC. The good thing is you know what the SRC is for, and you also know what the auth is for. So let's assume I saw an image on Google. For example, I go to Google and I want to search for an image. For example, I can say Nigerian coat of arm, or coat of arm, like any logo, any image at all that is already on the internet. Any image at all. It might be on Facebook, it may be on Twitter. You can see the image, you might have seen it anywhere, so long as it is already on the internet. What you want to do is copy the image URL. The image URL, that is what you want to do. For example, I have these images. I can click on this first one and copy the image URL, or copy this one. So I will click on this. If it open fast, sometimes the image URLs can be very long. Other times it can also be short. So, but I like opening up the image first so that the URL will be short. Because if I copy the URL from here, like copy the image link here, the link will be very long. So if I put it here, see, the link is very long. So most times I like to open up the image first before copying the link. But if I save this and refresh my browser, it will display that image. Yeah, the image is displaying here, but the problem is that the link is very long. So I need to open the image first, and I think I have a slow internet. So I open the image first and then copy the link, but that is not happening because my internet is slow. All right. But good thing we know what is happening here. I will undo this so that we'll still see our SRC and see our alternate text and save that. Let me still go back to the website, click on this again. I've clicked on it. Is it that it doesn't want me to have access to the image? Yes, you are going to get the recording for this class on your dashboard. You will. So I have the image opened here. Now I can copy the image link, which is this. On some browsers, it will say copy image address. They are the same thing. So image link or image address. So I'll copy this, then come back to the SRC and paste it here. Now this link is short now. The link is short. So if I save this and come back to my browser and refresh, I have a new image here now. So this is how we add images. So what I would do is try to add images, or maybe no, I won't do that. I think at this point I will take your question. Any question? Yes, we can do that. We can do that. There are so many ways to do it. Now, this is one way of adding an image with a link. We can also add another image, but this time the image is already, yet I'm going to repeat that. I'll do that, but let's add a link. Let's add an image that is already on my system. So let's assume I have an image here on my system. So let me just find one. I'll look for an image here. Yes, I have this image. I want to display this image on my browser. So what I would do first, now the resizing of the image is done with CSS. The same way I explained to you about building a house. When you lay the bricks, the house will not be fine. It is when you come to plastering and painting that the house will be fine. Some images are going to be very big when you add them. It's fine. Leave them like that. They are very big. Leave them like that. And if you want to also reduce the sizes, you can, but there's no point bothering yourself with reducing the sizes since we're only learning about HTML. Yes, they are, but we want to learn how to add images from the internet. As we need to pick it from the internet and add it and be sure that it is working. So now I've seen an image on my system here. I can go to this page. It depends on the image. Did you copy the image link itself or the link where you saw the image? There are two different things. So you right click on the image itself and copy the link. So I don't confuse you, we're going to skip this for now. Let's just stick with SRC as the source for the image. Yes, ensure you save it. All right, I'll do that again. So I will delete all of this. It's gone. I'll add my image tag. I have the SRC, I have the auth. So if I come to this place, this is the image. I've clicked on it and it's like I need to click on it first so that the link will be shorter. So if I right click on it, right click on the image and copy image link. So it doesn't have to be this link. It has to be the image link, not this link, not any other link here, but the image link itself. So it has to be the image link. So I'll copy the image link and then come back to my source and add it here. So if I save this, come back to my browser and refresh the browser, I should have that image here. Now I have the image displayed here. So this is how to add it. Yeah, you can achieve the resizing with CSS, but we're going to come to CSS. Let's understand the HTML first, and then we come to CSS. Now I can add an image that is already on my system. I don't need to go to the internet. I can pick any image that is already on my laptop. So since I have this image, this particular one, I want to use this one. So first thing I need to do is to either copy this image and paste it here. So either you copy it and paste it here, or you drag and drop. So I will just do drag and drop. So now my image is inside my project folder. Yeah, the link must be inside the quotes, not outside. If you look at it here, it has these quotes around it. So the link must be inside the quotes. So if I space this out and also space this out, so you see that there's a quote here before the link and there is a quote after the link. Yes, you will get the video. Sorry about that. So we're almost done for today. I think this is the last part. All right, so now let's add an image. I've already dragged and dropped an image here. So what I can do is go to my source and do dot slash. Dot slash is going to bring out everything that is inside my current folder. So these are just the two things that are inside my current folder. I will select this one because this is the image I want to add. So if I save it and refresh, now I have the image on my browser. And like I said, the image sometimes can be very big. Now you don't need to bother about the sizes for now. You need to understand how to add the image with an image tag. So this is it here. This is it here. So I'll do that again. The first thing is, let me delete the image here. I'll delete this image here. First, you need to download the image. Make sure you have the image. Make sure you have the image. And I have it here. I will drag it like the normal drag and drop. There is no technique here. It's just normal drag and drop. So you drag it and you drop it here. So now the image is inside the same folder with my index.html. That's the first thing. It must be inside the same folder with my HTML. So if I close this and then add an image tag, img. So I have an image tag. Inside the source, I will type in dot and then slash. Dot slash is going to bring out everything that is in the current folder. Then I would need to select what I want. At this point, what I want is this image. So I will select this image and then save it. So if I save it and refresh, now the image is already here, so it's still going to be here even after I refresh. Now, so for some persons, you don't need to add the dot slash. You don't need to add the dot slash. It will still work for you if you don't add the dot slash. But I like things being easy for me. So this means that you need to know the name of the image and start typing exactly the name of that image. So I won't do that. I don't like doing that. So what I'll do instead is to type in dot slash that will allow me to pick. So I just pick the image. That is why I use dot slash. But some persons will not use dot slash. So even if you see it on a YouTube video, they're just the same thing. You see it somewhere else, they're just the same thing. And I will save this, and I still have that same image. Now I'll check if I have another image. So if I click on this, yes, I have another image. So I will drag this image and drop it inside my project. Drag it, the normal drag and drop. And drop it here inside my project. So this is the image I want to add. I will go below this one, or maybe not below. I'll add it to this paragraph. So here, somewhere here, I'll put an image tag. Inside the image src, I'll put dot slash, and then the image I want is this one called about us. So if I click on it and save, by the time I refresh my browser, I have the image here. So now this is looking good. I have a title, I have a paragraph, and I have an image. The same thing here. I have title, I have paragraph, and I have an image. So ladies and gentlemen, any question so far? We've written so many codes. We're already on line 60 on the second day. So that means the third day might be on line 120. The fourth day might be 200. So any question? Any question? Any question? I hope nobody was typing in the general group because I wasn't seeing that. Yeah. My question is about Lorem. Yes, if you type in a tag, for example, a H3 tag, and you type in Lorem, 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 and you hit enter, it's going to generate dummy text for you. But if I want to be specific about the number of words, after I type Lorem, I would then add a number to specify the number of words that I want. If I hit enter, now what I typed in here is Lorem 7. So that means I want Lorem to generate 7 words for me. If I click on it and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 7 words. Yes, you can adjust the text color. We're going to do all of that in our subsequent classes through CSS. You can do that. So we can do a lot, but we need to first understand how to structure the HTML. Now, look at it. Nothing goes outside of my body tag. Everything I have written, all the lines of line 59, everything was within the body tag. If I go to the top, you see that they are all within the body tag. If I close the body tag, you see that there is nothing outside of the body tag. It's very important to know that all your codes must be inside the body tag, not outside. So any question so far? All right, we are done for today, but I will need somebody to log into their dashboard and share their screen so that I show you how to submit an assignment. Yeah, adding more than one image is the same thing. You can't add it on one line. It's the same thing. You add them separately. It's the same thing as this. So you can add multiple images like this. Just keep adding them like this. You cannot add the same 2 links here or 2 images here. It has to be one image at a time. Yes, you will wait until I post an assignment for you, but I want to post a dummy assignment now so that you will see how it will appear on your dashboard, and then you know what is required of you of how to submit it. So can anybody is there anybody who can share their screen before we end the class? I'll go ahead and create a dummy assignment, just a short assignment. I don't know if you can share your screen with your phone. If that is possible, you can go ahead. Yes, somebody should share their screen. I will stop sharing mine while I create a dummy assignment right now, very quickly for you to see on the dashboard, because you need to see how the assignment is going to appear on your dashboard and how are you with your academy? Are you with a laptop? I need somebody maybe with a laptop so that for clearer view. Who is going to share? Okay, Modu, I'll give you the mic while you go ahead and share. Let me just look for you. Sorry, where is your name? Yes, Modu, you have the mic. Please unmute yourself. Go ahead and share while I add a dummy assignment. A dummy assignment. Yes, unmute yourself and share. Okay, after module is done sharing, Akani, you get ready so that you will share. All right, share your screen while I add just dummy assignment. Your camera is on, but it's actually the screen we want to see. The camera is on. Okay, and you are muted also. You can unmute yourself while you look for it. So, but for those who might actually be
Hello?
all right. I think you can't find it. Should we give somebody else? Okay, you are here now. I'm about to post the assignments. Just stay here. Let me post the
Okay.
assignment so you refresh the
And so
page
what do
and
you
you
do?
see the assignment.
You open your terminal. So there are different
Okay.
ways of opening a terminal. You either go to view and now select
Yes,
terminal from the list here. That's one way. Another way is you can press Control back click on a keyboard. It will now give you this terminal. So there are different ways to open the terminal. Now that I've opened the terminal to run it, I just type Python, then the name of the file, which is sum.py. Right? So I will enter a number now. So I will type do and now type ris. So the output is going to be doris because this input string accepts to convert return string. And now Python, if you use a plus operator on two strings in Python, it's going to do what is called a concatenation. That's joining of them. Is that clear? Okay, thank you so much. Madam Doris, go ahead. Yeah. No, not Python.py. You type Python, then space, then the name of your file with .py. Yeah. Can you see this screen? It's a must though. That's where you run it. Except you have an extension that will enable you accept input from the output. You know, when you click run here, the output that will give run your code, not the terminal. But me, I'm more comfortable with the terminal because you can't get it wrong with terminal. Yeah. So now, don't pay attention. Look at the challenge you were experiencing before. Are you using MacBook or you are using Windows? You screenshot and send it to the chat here. Yeah, screenshot and send it to the chat. Okay, so Madam Doris, look at that challenge you are having. If I click run here, this is the button you click, right?
Yes, sir.
If you click run here, because so if you click here, it will open in the output here. See the output. It's not
Hello.
terminal, so you can't enter any number here. It won't accept, and this stop will not be stopped. This is the only way you will click stop before it will work. If you stop it now, you have cancelled it. If you click on stop, you have cancelled it. You now come to the terminal and run it directly. That's the best way. So in my terminal, but if I type Python, then I outside type sum.py, you now see my code will run. Right? So I will convert this code again back to the way it was, which is like this. Then I will now add this one to it. So I want to show you guys something. Assuming a user enters a floating point number here with this, please look at my code first. Look at the code. Assuming I am casting it into an integer. So assuming a user enters a floating point number like 5.5 and 5.6, what will be the response? So I'm going to run this code. I need some people to tell me what will happen. Python sum. Okay. So I have two options, positions. One says that there will be an error. That means the code will not run. Second, Madam Norris said it's going to be an integer. Into an integer and give it. So that's what it's telling you. But if I remove this guy here and if I convert this guy to float instead of integer, I change it to float. So I'm going to do that now. I'll type float instead of integer
Sorry,
here.
trying
Hello.
to share this assignment.
I click
Yeah,
send.
I'm trying to share the assignment, but I think I have network issues, so I'll try
So
again.
if I run this code now
Okay.
And then
and
let me try
type
sharing it again.
sum.py, I enter 10.5 as before, and now enter 5.5. What am I going to get? I'm going to get 16.0, which is the correct answer. Why? Because I have converted them to float. So this is why data type 2 is very, very important. Is that clear? Any other question before we move forward? Yes. Okay, go ahead. Why is it that at this point the print function is not indented, but most times when you do not indent it, it will be giving it error. But
All
this
right,
time
I've
around, it's
added
not
an
getting error.
assignment. If
Okay,
you
so
can go to your
Okay.
dashboard and refresh
Okay.
the
so I
dashboard.
think the print function, if it's inside a
Okay.
group or inside a function
Can you see my
or
Can
dashboard?
inside a
you
group
share
code,
your screen so that we'll see it
definitely
together?
get an error if it is not indented. But now that I'm not inside a
No, I
Okay.
group,
Can
can't
you
see
see?
because
your
definitely I'm
dashboard.
just printing, so I won't get an error.
Your
Is that all right?
all right. Somebody's mic is on and I can't find the person. All right. So share your screen, or for those who are actually on their dashboard, if you go to your dashboard, you should see the assignment. I don't know who can actually share. All right, let's have somebody else share. Let's have somebody else. Who else is going to share their screen? Yes. So if you come here, now this is the dummy assignment. This is not the real assignment. So, but if you click on it, you'll see where it says submit assignment. What is expected of you for now? The platform accepts only link. So, normally as backend developer, we share links to our code base. So we'll be sharing links, but for now, you don't have a GitHub account. You're going to have a GitHub account later so that you and I can share codes. I get to see your code, and you get to also see my codes. So for now, you take screenshot, add the image somewhere, and copy the link for me. So the link to where the image or the screenshots are, that is what you'll be submitting. When you click on assignments, who is going to share? Akani, yes. Akani said he was going to share the other time. Let me look for you. It's difficult. I'm looking for you. All right, Sarah, go ahead. Okay, somebody's already sharing. Yes, this is the assignment. If you scroll down, you should see where it says submit assignment. A button that says submit assignment. You click on the button that says submit assignment. Okay, you click on it, it's expecting you to add a link. Normally, that is how developers submit or share code, with a link. But for now that we are still beginners, I haven't taught you how to share your GitHub links. And so what you will do for me is, when you code the assignment, take screenshots, add the screenshot somewhere, maybe on Google Drive or anywhere, and then you share it, or you come to Telegram. I will create I have a topic here for assignment. That is why you are not allowed to write comment here. You come to Telegram here, but I will advise you put the link. Find a way to put the link, because I'll be adding score to that link on your dashboard. So find a way to add the images somewhere. It's also possible to upload it to anywhere. Just upload it anywhere and copy a link and put the link here. So that is what I'm expecting from you. So I think that is it. In the absence of any questions, if you're okay at this point, you can drop a thumbs up so that we call it a day. But if you have any questions, drop your question. Yeah, if you can use GitHub, please go ahead, use GitHub if you can. Now, I'm just concerned about those who don't know how to use GitHub yet. Now, but if you have GitHub account and you know how to use GitHub, please go ahead, use your GitHub account, share me the code, the link to your code, like that. Yeah, this is just a sample assignment. It's not the real assignment. I'm going to delete this one and post the real assignment, or you can ignore it. It will still be there. Ignore it. I'm going to add the real assignment later. All right, guys. So if you are okay to end the class here, please drop a thumbs up so that we can call it a day. Drop a thumbs up so that we call it a day. I think I'm offline again. Okay, I think with that much. So I'll check back tomorrow for the assignment. Bye, guys. Bye. Yeah, the videos will be posted on your dashboard tomorrow also. All right. The next class is